Attorney General Swakasa.
Anyagro.
Hey, one kasa wakanya agree there is emotion. And then the kasa near
A speech I could deliver where a bar conference a course a voter region.
Okay.
Say lawyer phone say mostly before the legal year starts again. I'm on vacation na ebua mo told with me yes conference mo ya lawyer for kukudam for linear ewo man ya na the auspices of the association no mutumi ba ebe hiem oh baby omo be decide some be holding the war na etoda na omo be hiem me for some time now president Akufo-Addo na kasa otumi kopiem kokasa ho attorney general no so that's lead of the bar otumi address ni ade na ene de mankofo conference hu nsem pae yes speech go for the board dami e de ko mawo esa event here particularly a part of the speech or title no former President Mahama's unjustified attacks on the judiciary.
Former President
Mahama's unjustified attacks on the judiciary. Obekaya be 3 weeks ago former President Mahama on a year NDC for lawyer for ekoye nhyiemu ewo I think adan so mkoye nhyiemu ho a okasa fa de ono onadwi mo kira ade bia judges no Supreme Court particularly omo ya oni omo nyadwen or say consistently in fact refer to omo as unanimous FC a okira omo the decisions ba ono nadwi mo de enya de a ehọ na wose omo de mbrandi CB omo de si so omo de si.
The former president made that referral.
Yes.
Unanimous
or say unanimous. Or say omoma decisions are consistently go against one side. Or say a idea a hardwin ye pa a mankofo are judiciary in fact he went a step further to say that Ojidi said a new chief justice no be to me a lead the reformation na a sure sense of confidence a saying about a judiciary
Let's be careful that he made that statement that a new chief justice.
Or say it's a new chief justice that can lead the reforms to ensure that the image of the judiciary is restored.
Wow.
In some mini bioko keka event here, and now Attorney General no Obeka Sano no so take advantage of the platform say obe responding. Na the okay kind na
I see.
And
that the source of
the former president's unjustified attacks on the judiciary is the unanimous dismissal by the Supreme Court of his rather porous election petition, which indeed, in my respectful view, was dead on arrival and bound to be dismissed by any court worth its salt in the country.
Asempa FM.
One cannot fail to note that his petition before the court in 2021 was a bundle of incompetent claims devoid of any substance. As stated already, the allegations of wrong aggregation of votes, and vote padding, which he put before the court, collectively involved only 6,622 votes, a figure which could not in any way affect the outcome of the presidential election. It is therefore perplexing how, if such a petition is dismissed by the court, it should form the basis for an allegation of unfair treatment by the court. It ought to be understood that it is a duty of the court to administer justice according to law. The court is not a mercy chamber to serve justice based on sympathy or affection. I observed with even greater worry that the former president, who is a non-lawyer, made this comment at a meeting of the legal committee of his political party. None of the lawyers raised a finger to contest the wrong and dangerous propaganda by the former president. By their silence, they became abettors of the propagation of hate against the judiciary.
So that's the Attorney General. This is the statement. I'm saying my comment on it. Oshia NDC for a lawyer for. So the Attorney General also chose the platform.
In fact, I want to just read a quote from what John Mahama will say. If people are not poking fun about politics and inducements being used to sway the hand of justice in the lower courts, then it is poking fun and making statements about the 7-0 of the unanimous FC. Verdicts which mostly involves cases of a political nature in our Supreme Court. This is an unfortunate but serious development. One of the scariest existential threats to our democracy is when citizens think their judiciary holds no value for them or no use to them. This is the national security threat the national security apparatus try to draw the attention of the nation to. It is scary because it threatens the peace and stability of our democracy. There is therefore the urgent need for the Ghanaian judiciary to work to win the trust and confidence of the citizenry. Unfortunately, we have no hope that the current leadership for our judiciary can lead such a process of change. We can only hope that a new Chief Justice will lead the process to repair the broken image that our judiciary has acquired over the last few years.
But clearly the Attorney General should have added the National Security Minister. Yeah. The Attorney General, if you want to be fair to the situation, because Mikael Okawe, like I said, that was uncalled for, knowing his position as a former president and the weight that he carries. But Obetimi Akasa, Akable, that is because our own National Security Minister, at a point in time, I'm sure made certain statements to that effect.
Yeah.
And that's very unfortunate.
In fact, very
unfortunate.
Judges, or making that point.
Very unfortunate. Before the judges, now all can't say we actually a judge for. Now you walk quiet and be forcing a judge for wedding komo or knowing how sensitive this matter is and the impact it may now on the judiciary. So, in a way, if our National Security Minister is talking to this effect, what then is the challenge of the former President Jimmy Kasasimi? It might not be the case. It might not be the case. But if our National Security Minister speaks to that effect, now I'm a former president, my briefing is based on what the National Security Minister tells me. Ono enya kukuduro. Etimi abeka judge for asema enya so no emu oha. Ewa bontin. We have allowed that thing to go. Oh, that's no empower me as a former president to speak same. So in as much as Yera Godfrey Dame, the approach to the former president, I support it. I think that it would have been better to add our own National Security Minister to the matter. Because the word on this matter. But clearly.
I mean, the idea I made this once a judiciary the way our judges for Majumano etino. The idea is very delicate because once a menotia says a seminar and tea and once here. I say, Anka, maybe a trim they say, based on a poop, they are boom near. Or see,
alcohol.
Akosho being say, they are buying to one now. We are a fair person. I usually say, which meet here, some 90. Either ways, no, say, attack ne call, or be attacking, or be defending. It ends up tarnishing the confidence.
But that's what I'm saying.
Say, yeah.
Usheni pa, omodesa charge, at your judiciary this one. You acquire who do be bria one bet me this and come away. Name of Mimi Gidemono. Mijini said the former president is empowered because of the National Security Minister's statement. It is no news. So Kona Kunya 7090 whatever 0. It's no news. You might be feeling say, hey, never did nipa and so nipa and kono omunina juni etimiko ben cross away the more rem kakra. But that I had been see that no there be biesida. It is any news. We can look at the other factors, but my worry and concern is that the former president will gather the courage and the vim because no less a person, but our National Security Minister made pronouncement to that effect. And that is not healthy for the judiciary and for the country. What they say with him that is the last hope for every Ghanaian. Last hope. Tina Mosha Mukota, how do Amodia Ba, Freeman, or Copia Supreme? Yeah. Obashasi Boja, Mentimati Boja, now Gusu Kwa Panay. Then you get to the top there. We thank the Attorney General trying to streamline. In streamlining, you should streamline your National Security Minister for such pronouncements. And yes, it might be uncalled for by the former president. It might be an unfair statement by the former president because Onoso Betina Kunyano so pen. Oh, yes, people then infer that when you sit in that chair, influence our judiciary on certain matters. Oh, yes, the confidence that we have in our judiciary now all reduce it to bear.
Yeah.
But you cannot entirely blame the former president.
Okay, said the former president, John Mahama, he was emboldened by the National Security Minister.
Yeah.
It cannot be entirely correct.
No problem.
But me know ya dream more than 2 million % to say. As someone National Security Minister can it was uncalled for. Me tell me say what is this? Court Enya baby ye kokro so ena no wudi form yensa it na de yema woni bemba bi na wakoma nto ye.
That's the picture is being painted.
Yes,
but I say we di for back, no we di for back. I draw na
that doesn't show a strong judiciary. No. Wudi for 2 million times. I say ma wudi for 2 million times. Na fesu enyansa. Sadetie. It is the former president or friend see ubetima criticize verdict be a beba and you are liberty to do that, but unfortunately to brand them unanimous 7. Okay, also unanimous 7 and that's a unanimous 9. Now just what to Supreme Court judges what to mudin maybe kwa permission to be too mudin because me say na fair. How much more for my president who was sworn in by the Chief Justice? You can't do that. I will say a catcher for my president say Sakasano and you can say fata the position.
I say catcher National Security Minister.
Oh, one what you cry.
National
Security Minister assigned some advice. No, it was uncalled for. Ill advice. Because it will a person yesterday. At it will be Yama NDC for and then will be any bim. Now is he saying so be the control?
Son of person watch.
Ayo boku mun kata de yehwe wudi bi ma wadi bim wudi for wadi for who 2 million times na wudi for 2 million times e say ma wudi for na kwatena fi say why wadwe say wudi democracy didi a who court no ubetima wini ubetima lusu me pacho 2012 elections MPP lusu MPP go Supreme Court report wo ho ma video nu wo ho I think say TV3 for your back could be and na GTV for so year report no back ma hwe dem yenu very interesting now what shall when ya say Ghana democracy no koso because olusu ye nanado bomudi rule ni buy no wo free Jubilee House free in fact then vice president Pakwisia Misata and a kind of bontin say nanado afre. And they were all happy. Senanado Afre, President Mahama, then Vice President Misata, and virtually all the staff at Jubilee House, that time Flagstaff House, they were all in white on the day of the verdict. Call the bar, you know. How many J? I don't know when you. Anyone don't know. Now, attending. Now abuse, a winnie be the yeah, there was a derby.
More rem.
There in a more rem. Prove it. Prove it. Say I don't know. A more rem. You are liberty to because we are lawyers. Can anybody tell me? Say, Uracha Chichikata, when your lawyer wabi a weekend wabi a wayashi. What does he? It is a bit more prove. Say, doc, ready. A chase say, ni say, the way more rema. Maninya clear, maninya evident. So to the beer. Asem no koso ye in live ntino obi etie bi se bi peduasa nye law school obi akokwa common sense de won kwa ye se wotumi common sense de bi et you can appreciate the koso you can appreciate FM prove say aje we say de hwe 2012 you know Supreme Court case ba ko a memenye lawyer ba ko a Dr. Kodjaferi Jan kai was so ma classical definition of overvoting. Ya watch mo. She man, my member example the mine. Was say voters no voter register no. Yeah, what polling station no. Say nipa 100. Na say a nipa 60. And that number 2 aba. Ye kan aba no. A nipa 98. And yes number 2. Meanwhile nipa 60 kwa that number 2 aba na. So far as amro the total number of on the register no and you overvoting. Do I need to be a lawyer before I understand this? Say you're wrong. Say the understanding of Kodjaferi Jan on the issue of overvoting was wrong. It was wrong. And to me, the awakano, the one parliament is here to me good. Kuba say you go parliament, but you good judiciary. The one judiciary. The war and the judiciary. And intin FC to me dinini. Say bibi timi ba na say ankoye e tochema e wo judiciary ma there are processes ɛno nti na wo kwase wo de asɛm kɔ circuit court na sɛ wodi for na wohwɛ na wonyini ya wotimi de kɔ so kɔ appellate bodies na go to Supreme Court even to the level of go for a review. Former President Mahama na wo opportunity so be kɔ review ana meboa one kɔ review so one kɔ review timi say you what atum gitum sa you a Democrat ne yen kɔ so unum say ebesi na kɔ pon mampanyin Mahama untimi mfeda na do emma no congratulations on record.
Really?
Yes, on record. On record, one conceded defeat. And one congratulate him Nanado as president. Yeah, on record. If Obia who be one semi. Sani many in no. Obi can yes, inconsequential. Inconsequential, but a democracy no. A dim. Selman Penny that or no opposition leader Kufuado, wako 2008 were Lusu, wako 2012 was Lusu. Wako Supreme Court was Lusu. Hey, Oba one to moon, Quebec say, ye betray, ye beko review, but was your I disagree with the position or the verdict by the Supreme Court, but me a Democrat, man the befanesa. And no far phone the fray. A man penny for any G, yes, I. Anya bibiao, but a democracy need dim. It I expect to say, as a Democrat, dear, and as a former president, you also told the same line. Nah, because
are you worried with the 70907090 syndrome? Now, say, among for the ADD say, hey, now the Debia Mukwa Muna Madrid Cobencro is strange. Hey, Debia, but the Mukamuna Madrid Cobencro. Why are you worried?
No, but why must I be worried? Say saying some more evidence. Accept no more the better about it. In fact, apart from no, there are several cases from 2016, 17, Babisi na MPP force and this force to me a winning our court. Every man will win that. Every man will win that. And I know some mechanic say, ah, so we call court and you by force. I will quite change now. As so called winning. Now we didn't win him now. Why I fairly say what this a good so what yes, what lose you are. There are ways I will bet to me, but name calling, criticism or not critique, a part of democracy, but name calling, especially from former president, for me, and yet.